Hello everyone. Today I will show you how to deploy a WordPress site on a redu.cloud using an AI agent. We will also set up daily backups and we'll do some changes through the MCP server. So let's begin. So here I have a project that's a WordPress website and it's using MariaDB that I started locally with systemctl. I also have a Docker Compose file, even though in development I'll just be starting it outside the container for showcase. And you can see here I'm running the website locally. I'm getting 200 and the website can be seen in the browser on the port 8080. It's a pretty simple WordPress site, but it is functional. So let's now go and deploy it on Redu. But before that, I'll just quickly show you that MariaDB is actually running. You can use the systemctl status command. We can see that it is active and running and taking SQL requests. So I'm just going to list MCP servers my codex is currently using. Mostly interested in Redu, which I can see is enabled. But I also suggest Playwright just because it actually goes through your website like a human would. So let's now finally deploy. You don't have to exactly type what I'm typing. Anything just having deploy and redo in it will work. But here I want to deploy the WordPress project from the current folder and I want to see the detailed plan. I also want to make sure that it sets automatic daily backups so I don't have to think about that. And now we will just let it work for a bit. As you can see, it saw that it is a compose based WordPress. As I mentioned, the Docker Compose, it will deploy it in site containers. Also, it says here there is no code graph. Code graph is actually a very useful MCP server which you can use and then just skip file inspection. I'm also setting the mode to YOLO mode so I don't have to allow everything. It will do most of the things automatically as it wants to do. So we'll just wait a bit more and see what we come up with. Here we can see that it's editing the stack, adding a backup service that will actually run alongside WordPress and MariaDB as its own container, and it tells us where the backups will be saved. Here we can see that it edited some files. It actually edited our Docker Compose, put a whole deployment plan with the estimated cost, and added some environment variables it needed. So here we can see that it's preparing the upload, and this is happening because I didn't make a Git repo, but if you have a Git repo, this wouldn't upload. Now that the source upload is completed, it's asking me to run the deploy compose and it will use the Docker Compose file. I will just say always allow so I don't have to do it again if necessary. The provisioning has started and we can see the public URL that this website will get, and as you can see it's HTTPS and it is SSL secured. And now we'll just wait for it to provision. We can see that the first provisioning attempt actually failed, and now because it has the key pair, the SH key, it can go inside directly inside the compose logs and check if there's something wrong there. But as we can see, the problem was it sent m1.large instead of the actual flavor ID. So it deleted the previous deployment and has started a new one. So we'll wait again. So here it made one backup already, but before the WordPress installation was finished. So it concluded that it needs to make another one so that the set actually includes the seeded site. It will make it immediately, as you can see, and it's listing the backup files. Now that the files have been listed, it sees it's a larger SQL dump, so that means that the backup was successful, and the next backup will be done 24 hours from now. Since it has made some other changes to a plugin, a guard update, it did another backup, and also it changed redu deploy plan MD and redu MD with updated information. So those are the files that it saves to know what happened before. And as we can see, it's now deployed on redu, and we can just go to this link and see if it works. And as you can see, the website is now deployed on redu.cloud with already having SSL, and it also has a slash dashboard page where you can log in with the credentials you will see in the terminal. So let's now try something different. I open my Codex CLI again, and let's see. Let's just change the color of the site from green to orange, and we'll add a section where the website will just list different kind of animals, or let's say rodents, and see what it does. We can see here what it did. It changed the theme palette to orange, added the MariaDB seed with rodents, added the WordPress DB query helper, and added the new homepage section. And now we can verify that the website in production is actually orange. And not only it's orange, but if we scroll down we can see the rodent section with different types of rodents. Okay, so one last thing before we end. I would just like to deploy some kind of monitoring system. I won't even choose one. I'll just tell it to, I don't know, just go with something open source, for example. So we'll just see how it does, and then we will end today's video. So let's give it some time and we'll come back soon. Okay, so it decided on Uptime Kuma, and we can see the URL. We also have login credentials with admin and some random generated password. So let's now just check it. We'll paste the URL. This is our website, and if we go to slash dashboard, we see the WordPress. We also saw the credentials for it in the terminal before. And the last thing we need to check is the Uptime Kuma. So let's paste the URL, and this is the Uptime Kuma. We'll just paste the credentials. And as you can see, it shows that our website is healthy and up, and this is where you would follow the health. We can add much more. We can connect it to Telegram to just get notifications if it's down, or do something else. And this is it for today, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.